Hello, my friends. I'm here with you. Take a slow breath. Let your shoulders rest. You do not need to hurry. For a little while, we will listen to a calm story together. The words will be simple. The pace will be slow. You can just listen and rest. Now, let's begin with a simple question. Think about Valentine's Day. Today, it feels ordinary. A heart on a card, a small gift, a short message on a phone, maybe flowers, maybe chocolate, maybe nothing at all. It looks like a simple day. But have you ever wondered why people do this? Why do humans choose one day to say, "I care about you"? It feels soft and sweet now. Long ago, this kind of habit could affect real life. It could affect families. It could affect travel. It could affect power. It could change how people joined their lives together. To understand it, we need to go far back. We need to go to a time before printed cards, before big shops, before fast messages. Long before cities, people lived close to the land. Life was small and hard. A home could be a shelter of wood, stone, or animal skin. People woke with the sun. They carried water. They searched for food. They kept a fire alive. They watched the sky and the wind. In those early communities, love was not a holiday. It was not a public show. Love was mixed with survival. People did not live alone. They lived in groups. They needed each other to stay alive. They hunted together. They gathered plants together. They protected children together. In a world like this, choosing a partner was not only about feelings, it was also about safety and work. A partner meant extra hands. A partner meant shared food. A partner meant help in winter, when cold nights made life smaller. A partner often meant children, who would grow and help the group later. When two people joined, the whole group could feel the change. Even then, people still wanted closeness. They wanted comfort. They wanted a person who felt safe. In the evening, when the fire was low, people sat near each other. They shared stories. They shared silence. They gave small signs of care. These signs were not expensive. They could be a better piece of food saved for one person, a warmer place near the fire, a small bead made from bone or shell, a simple string woven by hand, a mark carved into wood, a message spoken softly and remembered. In those early times, seasons mattered a lot. People could feel the change in their bodies and in their food. Winter often meant less to eat. Cold nights could bring sickness. People stayed close to the fire and tried to save what they had. Then spring came, and life opened again. Plants returned. Animals returned. People walked farther. They visited other groups. They shared news. They shared food. In many places, the end of winter felt like relief. People could sleep a little easier. And in times like that, people often reached for closeness. Later, towns and cities grew. People farmed wider fields. They stored grain. They built walls. They made rules. Life could feel safer in some ways, but it could also feel stricter. In the ancient world, love was not the only thing that mattered. Other things stood close to it: land, family name, a family's place in the town, work, respect. Marriage was often not only two people. Many times it was also two families making an agreement. When two families joined, daily life could change. People cared about what others would say. Family members could step in. Elders could give orders. A person might be told when to marry and who to marry. Even simple things could change: where the couple lived, who they ate with, who kept the money, who decided work. So love could still exist. People could still feel warmth.
but at home they had less freedom to choose. Still, people kept their quiet hopes. A young person could still wish for kindness, not only in agreement. A couple could still share small promises, even when life was strict. And people told stories about deep care, often in songs and spoken poems. A singer in a street could tell a love story. People stopped and listened for a moment. Later, they repeated the lines at home. Young people remembered the words. They tried to speak that way too. A traveler could carry the song to another town. A soldier could hear it and remember it. Small stories moved with moving people. Now we come to how the custom spread and changed. This part needs pictures, not big words. As people moved for trade and work, they carried small habits with them. Imagine a trader walking along a road with a pack on their back. Inside are things to sell: salt, cloth, dried fruit, small metal tools. The trader walks for days. At night, they sleep near other travelers. Maybe under a simple roof of wood and cloth. Maybe beside a fire outside a town gate.
In the morning, the trader reaches a market. It is not quiet. There are voices. There is the smell of food. There are baskets, ropes, and animals. The trader opens the pack and shows the goods. But the trader also brings something else, a way of greeting, a way of giving. Maybe the trader has a small ribbon. Maybe it is not costly. It is just a strip of cloth. The trader ties it around a small gift for someone they care about in that town. A local person sees it and thinks, "That looks kind." The next week, that person ties a ribbon too. Soon, the ribbon is not only one person's habit, it becomes a local custom. In port towns near the sea, the same thing happened. Sailors left for long trips. They did not know when they would return. Before leaving, some gave a small token, a carved bead, a scarf, a tiny ring made from simple metal, not to show wealth, to say, "Remember me." In another port, someone saw this and copied it. The object changed shape. The meaning stayed. As writing spread, messages became part of the custom too. Not everyone could write. Many people could not. So sometimes a person paid a scribe to write a short note. The note was simple. It said, "I am thinking of you." A messenger carried it along the road. The messenger might ride a horse or walk with other travelers. The paper could be folded and tied with string to keep it safe from dust and rain. When the note arrived, it mattered, not because it was perfect, because it crossed distance. It showed effort. It showed care. As these habits moved from place to place, they changed in simple ways. Each town used what it had nearby. In one place, a person picked flowers from a field and brought them home. In another place, someone saved sweet fruit because fruit was rare and special. In another place, someone cut a small strip of cloth and tied it around a gift. The objects were different, but the message was similar. It was a small way to say, "I thought about you." Travelers saw these habits. They remembered them. Then they carried them onward, and the custom changed again. Over time, leaders and religions also shaped the custom. Some wanted love to follow certain rules. Some wanted marriage to stay inside one group. Some wanted families to keep control. When rules were strong, people had to be careful at home. They could not always speak freely. They could not always choose freely. Now we come to a harder chapter. We will speak calmly. We will not be heavy, but we will be honest. Love in human history was not always free. Valentine's Day today often looks like choice. Many people can choose a partner. Many people can refuse. In the past, many people could not. In many societies, a woman's marriage could be decided by others.
A family could use marriage to gain land or safety. In many places, rich people had more choices than poor people. In many places, two people could care for each other and still be kept apart. Gifts were not always gentle either. Sometimes gifts were part of a family deal. A gift could be used to show power. A gift could be used to pressure someone. This is not the sweet side of the story, but it is part of it. And there is another quiet truth. When people begin to expect gifts, someone must make those gifts. Someone must grow the flowers. Someone must pick them. Someone must carry them to market. Someone must make paper. Someone must shape metal. Behind a soft symbol, there is often long work. In older towns, many workers lived with little rest. They worked long hours in fields and workshops. They earned little. Some beautiful objects were built by tired hands. So when we look back, we see two sides at once. We see tenderness. We also see unfairness. We see care. We also see control. Both can exist in the same human world. Now let's move forward toward the modern world. Machines spread into daily life. Big workshops and factories grew. Many people moved from farms into growing cities. Work changed. Time changed. Days were shaped by clocks and shifts. At the same time, making things became faster and cheaper. Paper could be made in large amounts. Printing became easier. Shops could sell many copies of the same card. A message of love no longer needed careful handwriting by a skilled person. It could be bought and sent. This changed the custom again. When cards and small gifts became easier to buy, more people could take part. A simple card, a small box of sweets, a ribbon, a flower. The custom spread into more homes. Cities also made distance feel normal. A person could live far from parents and old friends. A person could move to a new city for work. Couples could be separated by jobs for a long time. So small messages mattered more. A card or a letter was a simple way to stay close. It showed someone remembered you. It showed they made time for you. Someone had to write it. Someone had to carry it. And someone had to wait for it to arrive. Later, big businesses built strong habits around this day. Shops prepared early, windows filled with red paper and heart shapes. Pressure often came in a quiet way. A person walked past a shop window and saw hearts and cards. They saw other people buying flowers. They heard someone ask, "What did you get?" They did not want to look empty-handed. They did not want to look careless, so they bought something quickly, even if money was tight. And now we have phones and screens. A message can move in 1 second. Two people can speak across oceans. A heart symbol can be sent without paper, without ink, without travel. Today, that feels easy, but long ago it was slow. Imagine one messenger on a road between two towns, a small bag at his side. Inside is a folded note tied with string. He walks for hours. He sleeps where he can. He protects the note from rain and dust. Later, printing made cards cheap so more people could send them. In busy workshops, workers cut paper and packed small gifts all day. Step by step, life became faster for many people. That is why the day feels simple now. And through all that change, humans kept one simple habit. They tried to mark love. They tried to hold it for a moment. They tried to make it visible. Sometimes with a bead near a fire. Sometimes with a short note carried by a traveler. Sometimes with a flower chosen in a market. sometimes with a card printed by a machine, sometimes with a message on a screen. The way people show care can change, but people still want to say, "I remember you." Now let's come back to you, here, today. Next time you see Valentine's Day around you, slow down for a moment. You might see it as a modern holiday full of bright things, and yes, it is bright. But behind the bright things, there is a long story. Try to imagine an early community before cities, a small group near a fire, the wind outside, the careful sharing of food, one person saving a warm place for another. Try to imagine a long road between towns, a traveler walking at dusk, a folded note tied with string inside a bag. The traveler keeps it dry, the traveler keeps it safe. The note is small, but it carries a person's words. Try to imagine a crowded market, people selling cloth and fruit, a simple ribbon tied around a small gift, not expensive, just careful, just warm. And then look at the modern world again, lights, shops, fast messages. It is easy to think this is the whole story. What you see today is one modern form of an older habit. Valentine's Day is not only hearts and gifts, it carries a long human story behind it. Long ago, love was tied to daily work and survival. Later, love was tied to family rules, land, and respect. As people traveled for trade and work, they needed small ways to stay close across distance. That is why messages and tokens became important. In the modern world, the day looks easy,
because you can buy or send something fast. But the idea itself is old. It was shaped by community life, movement, and changing rules. So if you celebrate this day, you can do it with calm awareness. And if you do not celebrate, you can still understand it as part of human life. Because in the end, this day is about a simple message humans keep trying to say. I see you. I remember you. You matter to me. And that message has traveled with us for a very long time. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. Share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.